Parish Union School District number 95, education for September 10th, 2018. Let the record show that all members are present. I know Amy's coming shortly. We have voting sequence for this meeting is as follows: Mathis, Sanchez, Tuttle, Bailey, Idle, Isaac, and Milfoil. Do we have any audience to visitors?
Okay, I do have something I'd like to say really quick. Is in the first 3 full weeks of school, as an administrative team, because I just want to really brag on my 3 principals. As an administrative team, we have done 18 safety checks or drills, 94 teacher observations, over 500 grandparents came into the schools, and we have made over 50 home visits as a team. And so I am really proud of my 3 administrators. I just want to brag on them all a little bit. Mr. Gahn has went above and beyond to make the preschool seamless, work with all of the early childhood. It has went amazing. We had people coming in from the state board bothering him all the time, wanting to meet with him for compliance. He does it all on his own. He is very knowledgeable in it, and so I'm very proud of him. Mr. Shea is actually working on a business council, and he's co-authoring a grant with me right now. And we've actually been talking with people from the Department of Labor to get federal certificates for kids on their skills. So I'm very proud of Mr. Shea for that. And Mrs. Carroll, we had a communications meeting with the union today, and they said, I just want to tell you, Carolyn Wentz is awesome. So, it means a lot. And that might sound silly, it means a lot when you can enjoy and love coming to work. And happy teachers and happy classrooms make for happy families and happy communities. So I know I have really high expectations, and I'm not always easiest to work with because my expectations are so high sometimes, but I just want to tell them thank you. They've really been a dream team. And then I'm just going to let them each talk for 60 seconds really quick to tell you about what's going on in the schools.
60 seconds.
They have 60 seconds.
Do what's on you?
Okay.
Okay, we had almost 300 grandparents at our breakfast last week at Memorial. Everybody was happy. I had to get more tables out. It was amazing. I had no idea what to expect. I have a meeting with our coach for Preschool for All expansion. She met with me last week. It'll be a monthly meeting with her. We will have our compliance visit this year between September and May. So hopefully I get a little more heads up before they actually get here, so I know, they're coming at least. We have 18 in that program right now. I have gotten 4 calls for more preschool students. I know we have openings at this program as well. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the exact number there. So I have a feeling those openings won't be around for very long. Everything's going well with the classroom at Memorial where preschool is concerned. We're off and running, and things, we're getting into routines, and we're getting our kindergartners into routines, and that takes a while, but things are going very, very well.
So at Wentz last week, we had our grandparents breakfast and served approximately 240 grandparents and students, which we were just thrilled about. This Thursday, we actually have our Dine and Dance, which is a yearly event where we do it upright. I mean, we bring in round tables with tablecloths, centerpieces. Cindy Bell has been in this week, today, having manners class with our 3rd graders, and we'll go into the lunchroom and review those manners with 4th and 5th grade students on Thursday. Mr. Pheasant goes to the gym and is a DJ for that event. Students are encouraged to dress up. It's a catered meal. It's something that the 4th and 5th graders are really looking forward to, and the 3rd graders are getting more and more excited about it as they learn more about it. So we're really excited about that. We're also delighted to be the school and the district of the only 5th grader going to state in the IESA state golf tournament on Saturday. So we're going to have a little pub assembly to cheer him on Wednesday.
Cool.
That's great. All right, over the past 3.5 weeks, we've had a lot of things going on at Mayo. One of the first things I want to highlight is we had a parent informational meeting on standards-based grading August 23rd. So got some info on there. We are piloting standards-based grading 6th, 7th, and 8th grade social studies and science. On August 31st, we did our safety day drills, where we spent half the day doing various safety drills, fire, tornado, active shooter outside of the school, along with inside of the school. Just last Wednesday, the 5th, we hosted the golf sectional, which had over 50 golfers. Went very well. It was a hot day. A lot of volunteer work goes into that, and there's numerous people to thank, and it went really well. Everybody from outside schools were very impressed. We also had our grandparents' breakfast this past Friday. Huge turnout. We actually were at the bare minimum of the food at the very end, so there was a lot of people that enjoyed that. We selected Students of the Month that will have a pizza party with myself on Wednesday, and then I'll hopefully get their picture in the paper here coming up. And the girls softball teams competing in the the regional semifinal tonight, and baseball regionals start tomorrow night, and we are hosting. And girls basketball starts Thursday against Westville. So, a lot of things going on.
Can I give you one more date?
Yeah.
September 25th is our family fun night, from 6 to 7, is that right? And that's just enough to get our parents in, our book fair is open, so if you'll put that on your calendar, there are lots of activities that go on in the teachers' classrooms that night. So please, don't hesitate to come in for that hour on the 25th,
What time is it again?
6 to 7.
We have good building leadership, so I just want to thank them. So.
With that, I'll also throw in a little bit. I know the day you guys had your open houses, I made it to all 3 buildings, 4 buildings actually, because I went through the high school. I tried to get to see every teacher. I know Cindy did the same thing, because we've seen each other coming and going. And I had a ball going around to see everybody and wish them a good school year, and wish them well. And I think everybody had fun. Several of them kind of was like, "What are you doing here?" But it's like, it's good. It was nice to see everybody. So
It was good to see everybody excited and ready to
it
go.
really was, especially at Memorial when they all come. You guys open the doors, and it was like a tidal wave come flowing in. Like, whoa! So very good. So wish you guys well. So thank you. With that, anything else, audience to visitors? If not, we'll move to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, please vote. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey. Idle.
Yes.
Isom.
Yes.
And no full yes. Secretary's report.
I have a couple of cards to read. First one says, District 95 Board and Mr. Larson, thank you for the opportunities that you give to help District 95 employees excel in their roles. I was very honored to receive a Faculty Leadership Award after my second year of teaching. Fulfilling the requirements for this award has helped me grow as an educator and build solid, lasting relationships with my students and their families. Thanks for the encouragement and recognition. Warmly, Kim Woods.
Thank you.
And this is a thank you from the Larson family. Would like to express our gratitude for the beautiful flowers you sent. My father would have been deeply touched, as he was so proud of his grandson for making a difference in children's lives and his strong convictions. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Your kindness will always be remembered. Melvin Larson family, Dr. Jeremy Larson. Jill just leave these here.
With that, we'll move to the superintendent's agenda.
The first thing on the agenda tonight is to adopt the budget. The Finance Committee met to review the proposed budget. The budget has been on public display for the past month. A public notice was placed in the newspaper to announce the budget hearing. In addition, we have displayed our budget on the district website. This evening, I'm asking the Board of Education to adopt fiscal year 2019 budget. That is an operating deficit of $258,221. And I always like to be very clear about the way in which I budget. I'm a conservative budgeter, so I always start from worst case scenario, so I expect it should be better than that. However, I budget specifically if we do not receive our full categoricals, and so that's one of the reasons why that's in there. So. At this time, I ask the Board of Education to adopt the FY 2019 budget.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2019 budget. Any discussion? If not, please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey. Idle.
Yes.
Isom.
Yes.
And no votes yes.
Next is a transfer of funds. This past month, we had a CD that expired at First Farmers Bank and Trust. After reviewing current investments, I'm recommending the Board of Education move the funds and investment at Prospect Bank through the laddered CD investment program for municipalities. This will include a transfer of funds from First Farmers Bank and Trust and Illinois funds to Prospect Bank. This will be an increase of $45,000 a year in interest drawn from our funds. I want to talk about specifically what the amounts are. So in Illinois funds, these are in your treasurer's reports as well. In Illinois funds, that is $1.7 million. So that's 1,752,815 and 16 cents. Over at First Farmers, it's $580,079.21. So I just want to be very clear, we are moving over $2 million. We are moving those from one set of investments over to another set of investments. And because of that, we're going to increase our revenue on interest at minimum, because again, I'm a conservative, $45,000. So hopefully we'll be higher than that. But the way that we are looking at the CD rate, it will be $45,000 at minimum. The reason why I don't give you a hard number is because it depends on the date in which I get it in there. So, once I have your approval, I'll sit down with Prospect Bank and clear and finalize that. Are there any questions? So at this time, I ask the Board of Education to approve the transfer of funds from First Farmers Bank and Trust to Illinois funds to Prospect Bank. So from those two different accounts to Prospect Bank.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to transfer funds from First Farmers Bank and the Illinois funds to Prospect Bank. Any discussion? Questions?
Are we limited to where we can move those?
That is correct. Well, I don't want to say let me be clear. We are limited in what we can invest in. We are not limited where we can move those. So I had checked around to get the best interest rates, and Prospect Bank is who offered me the best interest rates at this time.
According to the ones that are eligible,
Yes.
like we couldn't invest in the stock market.
No, we cannot invest in the stock market.
Good.
That's correct.
Any other questions? If not, please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey. Idle.
Yes.
Isom.
Abstain.
And no votes yes.
And this is just something for fun, so there's a $45,000 interest increase that we'll have, and I feel like I had more time to actually sit down and do that since I'm a full-time superintendent and don't have the principal duties. And just a fun little tidbit for myself, because I always feel, all that responsibility is, so there's $45,000 there. I am doing food service director this year, which is approximately $17,000. I also got my applicator's license to spray weeds, so we don't have to have a weed spraying contract this summer. And then this Wednesday, I'm going for bug spraying. And so we have more than covered Mr. Shea's salary or any administrator's salary. We are lucky to have Mr. Shea, but it just makes me happy. I just wanted to point that out. So,
We're gonna take the fruit off.
yeah. Next is salary report. Annually, the Board of Education reviews the salary report submitted to the Illinois State Board of Education. Enclosed is a copy of the salary report. The purpose of this approval is to not change salary, so I want to be really clear. We are not setting salaries tonight. Let me say it one more time. I am not setting salaries tonight. The purpose of this report is you are just basically having it board approved, so that way when we go through an auditor, there's an actual documentation at one time of what the salary was. And I'm gonna be really clear, like with teachers, it's easy because they move off of a salary schedule, but for non-certified, and for administrators, we all have contracts, so that's easy. But for non-certified, you don't, and you don't ever want Anna or any payroll clerk to get accused of, well, I thought they were making this, and why are they making this year? So you have it documented in one solid place, so you can look back at the September 2018 board minutes and see exactly what their salary was supposed to be. The other thing is we're annually required to do that anyways. You post it online through the district website, and then also we submit it over to the Illinois State Board of Education through, the Education for Employment System. So I just want to explain that so it doesn't go in the newspaper as we're doing something with salaries other than just making them public tonight. So at this time, I ask the Board of Education to approve the annual salary report.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the annual salary report. Any questions or discussion? If not, please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Idle.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
No votes yes.
Next is the administrator's employment. The administrators have interviewed for social workers to fill a current vacancy. Courtney Southworth was selected by the administrative team to fill the vacancy. Encloses a copy of her resume and cover letter. Courtney lives in Marshall. She works over in Indiana, and she has a master's degree in social work. At this time, I'll ask the Board of Education to employ Courtney Southworth as a school social worker, and she will begin in the next 2 weeks.
So made.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the employment of Courtney Southworth as a school social worker. Any discussion or questions? If not, please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Idle.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
No votes yes.
Next is a vehicle purchase. Enclosed is a quote from Pilsen for an F-250. I've added a quote I asked for a quote for an F-150, however, the cost is higher because they cannot provide a government discount. So you cannot get the government discount on the F-150. So I just wanted to be clear because I know the F-250 is traditionally a more expensive vehicle. This evening, I'm asking the Board of Education to approve the purchase of 2 F-250s from Pilsen with the additional feature of a hookup for a snowplow on both trucks through a loan with Prospect Bank at a rate of 3.45%. I also want to be clear, so I want to be really clear about this. It's around $25,000. I can pull it out to get the exact number, but it's roughly $25,000. Then we will add the hookup, which is roughly about $300 to $500. We are asking for snowplows. I don't have the snowplows as part of this. I would just purchase that out of the budget because I'm allowed to purchase out of the budget within my line items. But the reason why we need a new snowplow, like the actual plow, is because we have, I'm gonna say it wrong, Bondo.
It's been bonded, it's been here as long as I've been here, so.
Yeah. So it would be nice to have some new plows as well.
I mean, in the winter, you have to pour water on the pump all the time to get it to work, cause it freezes up.
However, we would have then put the snow plow hookup on the front so we can just hook up the plow. So, is there anything else you'd like to say, Jerry?
No, I think they'll pay for themselves in the long run, so you don't have to call somebody in when the one I'm driving breaks down. It's pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
Are these new?
Yeah, they're brand new.
What year?
2019.
19.
Yeah. At this time, I ask the Board of Education to approve the purchase of 2 F-250s through Pilsen with the additional feature of a snowplow through Prospect Bank at a rate of 3.45%.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to add or replace get two F-50s, 250s for the maintenance department for snow removal at the rate of 3.45% through Prospect Bank. Any discussion or questions?
How many years long is that?
That's a 6-year loan.
And what are we planning to do with the old trucks?
We have not made a decision at this time. I will talk to the Building and Grounds Committee to see what they would want to do with it.
Any other questions? If not, please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Idle.
Yes.
Ister.
Abstain.
No votes yes.
Next, we're going to go into executive session. We will have no action afterwards, but before we do, I want to do a few informational items. So, one informational item that I would like to bring up, and I will just do this publicly, is I want to apologize. We have done a renovation on a garden over at Carolyn Wentz Elementary School. I will publicly apologize for for anyone that may have been affected by that. We were trying to clean up an area and I did not realize that there was a memorial within there. And so I'll be the first person to always say that. I'll take responsibility and I'll apologize. The other thing that I want to say about that is that it will be cleaned up, we will restore it, and we will make sure that there's a plaque in there honoring the appropriate people. Or, I don't want to say a plaque in there, but we'll make sure that we honor people in a respectful manner. I'm also going to be following up with a policy committee with the Board of Education to talk about memorials, just so that we can make sure that we can do things in a proper way for the future. So I did want to just publicly state that, and I take full responsibility for that. The other thing is that I want to congratulate some master board members. IASB, the Illinois Association of School Boards, sent me a notice that 4 of our Board of Education members reached master board member status due to their professional development with the Illinois Association of School Boards throughout the years. Now, I want to be really clear about this. I did not apply for them because I'm never going to apply for a board member to get something over another board member. So this is just something that IASB recognizes depending on the amount of professional development they do and how long they've been in. So, these members include John Sanchez, Beetle Bailey, Tom Tuttle, and Steve Idle. There is a dinner on September 25th at 5 p.m. at St. Joe to honor the master board members and present for, and they also present on professional development topics that evening for Board of Education members. So if you plan on attending that to get that honor or to recognize, please let me know because I have to RSVP for that. So congratulations to our 4 board members. Oh, that's in conflict with Memorial Fund Night. Okay. I think we'll probably end up at Memorial Fund Night.
I don't know why you picked it. It's fun.
So next is state waiver. This past month, I wrote a waiver to the State Board of Education to ask for a waiver for the whole grain requirement in our cafeteria menus. Students do not like whole grain pasta, buns, or whole grain Pop-Tarts. And so the State Board of Education sent me back a letter approving my request. My goal is to continue to build our cafeteria menus into foods that students will enjoy and consume. It's been a work in progress, and then please let me know what feedback you hear. I mean, it's a work in progress. Let me know, and we'll try to make sure that we get it as good as we can. But I'm just excited that we don't have to serve whole grain Pop-Tarts anymore.
So, are you the one doing the menus and everything then?
Yes, I am. I'm in charge of that K-12 menu, which saves us money, so we can hire fantastic administrators. So, yeah, and I enjoy it. That's another certification I got.
Well, the breakfast.
Well, hold on.
Really good.
Well, hold on. I am a level 3 school nutrition professional with the Illinois School Nutrition Association.
And Mr. Shea can spray weeds too, can't he?
Yeah.
I can. It's in the fine print, my job description.
But I have to oversee them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't buy it. He can't buy it.
So,
Well, Mr. Larson, I have to say that my classroom is right by the door to the cafeteria. So any deliveries that are made
Yeah.
back there, my kids are the first to see.
Yeah.
And they went ballistic
yeah.
when they pulled up with the slushy. They're like, Miss Woods, what is that right there? And I go,
So,
I'm not sure. It looks like a slushy machine, but I'm not sure.
yeah, there's
Is this the
currently,
best school ever? They said.
there's currently a slushy machine at Memorial, or at Wentz and at Mayo. Now it's 100% natural juice. It meets all the requirements, and we're just trying things out. So we don't know. I think it doesn't hurt to try things out. One of the things too is that we had talked about giving kids more food. You cannot increase portions according to federal guidelines, but you can sell additional food. You can also give away additional food. So like we're going to be playing around in the next month with like Uncrustables and potato chips and fruit and different things, and so you'll see some of that stuff come out soon. We were talking about that in the last week. So kids really like their Uncrustables. And then also, I take a lot of pride in my kitchens. I have asked the health department to come in and do an inspection right now because I have no doubt we'll pass. And I can just do it early because I know we're that good. And we are only up for audit through the Illinois State Board of Education every 3 years for our food programs. I told them to come in this year, and so they're going to come on in. So I have no problem being audited again, and I want to make sure we're doing it right. And so they're going to be sending people down to audit us at my request. So I take pride in those things. For the state tournament, I want to say congratulations to Case Calvin and Carolyn Woods Elementary School for earning a spot at the state golf tournament. Case will play on September 15th in the state tournament. This is the first time that Paris 95 Elementary School has sent a student to the state tournament. So please come out Wednesday if you can for the pep assembly there at 2:50?
240.
2:40, because that is going to be pretty darn cool to see a pep assembly at the elementary level.
And that'll be at Wins.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. 'cause it's nervous.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So Mrs. Carroll likes to point out she was the first principal this year in the state tournament.
He's the only fifth grader in the whole
Yes.
state that qualified.
Not too many school districts offer golf at the fifth grade level. Paris 95 does, because we're a good school district. See, I tell people that all the time, they think I'm just being facetious. We are a good school district. Okay. I would also like to say a huge congratulations and thank you to Mr. Shea and Mr. Roberts for hosting our golf sectional. Those two men worked extremely hard months in advance to start preparing for it. I know they were up there early in the morning, like 4 a.m. getting ready for it. And so I just want to say thank you to Mr. Shea and Mr. Roberts, because it really does make our schools look good. And so thank you, Mr. Shea. And I think these two men do a great job of representing our district and bringing pride to our community through hosting these events. And as he said, he has many more events coming up. One of the neat things I want to talk about is we've been doing lunch and learn workshops. This past month, I've been hosting lunch and learn workshops for teachers, K-12. So I've also got into the high school offering these. Often it's difficult for teachers to come in early or stay late due to childcare, and getting subs during the day takes away from instruction and also costs money. And so this past month, we piloted lunch and learn workshops where I bring in lunch and teach a topic to teachers. Teachers come, they eat, they learn, completely optional because I contractually cannot take their lunchtime because it's duty free, but they all come anyways. And so these workshops are optional with great attendance. I've hosted these workshops at all 4 schools, and I'd just like to thank the teachers for giving up their time. So thank you, Mrs. Vaughn and the Teachers Union, for participating in those.
Jeremy, what might be one of the topics you covered?
So I just made my rounds and did iReady data, and so iReady is the universal screener in which we give. So I showed teachers how to interpret data better for what the kids can. Because my big thing is I'm a big believer. When I think about my dreams for District 95, one of my dreams is I want to start having more conversations with parents, with teachers, with board members about what kids can or cannot do. I'm tired of letter grades. I feel like people want to get so hung up on an A, a B, a C, and I just want to talk about what a kid can or cannot do. And so, like iReady, for example, I'm very proud of this. If you look at from 2nd grade through 8th grade, we have as a district a report on every single kid, on every single standard, what will tell you what a kid can or cannot do. We already have that. And so we had trained teachers at the end of the year. We worked with them on the summer, and it has been a seamless transition. And I can tell you that for the first time that I've been in District 95, we as a district can say every single skill in reading and math, what a kid can or cannot do with clarity. Clarity. I can print it off, I can log out right now, print it off for you. And I 100% believe it's valid and it's high quality. And so I feel good about that. And so I would do a lunch and learn workshop where I would go through that data with them, and then I'll take it a step further and say, how do I use that in my classroom for instructional purposes? And so it just makes me feel really good that we're at that point as a district.
You're also doing podcasts though or something, right? I had to sit through one of these, I sat through, because they let me use their computers on.
So, I know that sounds nerdy, so I do, they're not podcasts, they're screencasts.
Okay, sorry.
So I will actually, I know that I'm a nerd. So we do screencasts, and what this is let's say a teacher for whatever reason can't come to lunch during that day. I don't want them to feel like, oh, I missed out, so I will actually, and then also, teachers want to be relaxed at lunch. They don't want to be taking notes, furiously and trying to remember every little thing. So I tell the teachers, just watch, just listen. I'm going to send you a video afterwards that you can pause, rewind, everything I'm showing you. You can do if you can't make it because you got a phone call for your kid's pediatrician, it's okay. You got a video. And if you don't want to watch my video, hit delete and I won't know. So we actually screen, so I will do a workshop, but then I also screencast, and you will hear my voice and I'll go through and show them how to do everything. Another series that I have coming up is 10 performance-based assessments in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna walk them through 10 different ways to assess kids' performance-based, not just multiple choice and they're guessing, performance-based. And I'm gonna do it in 10 minutes. So, yeah. For safety checks, I'd like to follow up with the Board of Education to remind them that we've already had a K-9 unit through all schools, including the elementary schools. Additionally, we have been working diligently with staff to ensure all students and staff are trained to not let individuals into the building, keep classroom doors locked, and how to respond in emergency situations. I'd also like to remind everyone that the entrances at both elementary schools were adjusted this year with bulletproof glass on both sets of breezeway doors with the double lock mechanism. So if you go into either of the elementaries, you might get into the first door, you're locked in that breezeway. You have to be buzzed to even get into the second half of the school. And so we are just working really hard to make safety a top priority. And so if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, please let us know. Our next board meeting will be on a Tuesday because of Columbus Day. So it's not the second Monday, it is the Tuesday after that. So I will send you lots of reminders to remind you of that. So just please know that. For the grandparents breakfast, it was a huge success. I could not be happier. Thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to our building administrators for putting that together. Let's see. And the APT asked me if I could just let everyone know that September 21st, and I will put this in a memo for you, September 21st at 6 p.m. that they will have an APT cookout. It will be tailgating before a football game. So it's September 21st, 6 p.m. tailgating, and they would like to know if the Board of Education, anyone's going to come so they can make sure to get plenty of food. So, and then also I will be scheduling a policy committee meeting, not only to speak about the memorials situation, just make sure that we have proper memorials in place, but also at the policy committee, I'd like to speak about a facility request. Today I received a facility request for a traveling team that's not 100% District 95. And in the past, traditionally, our past practice for the most part, I'm not going to say there weren't ever any exceptions, because I'm sure someone would point one out to me, but for the most part, it has been that at our district, we have only allowed traveling teams that are 100% District 95. The reason for that is so, for example, like I have someone who does a lot with Clinton, Indiana, for example. So that coach has a lot of Clinton, Indiana players. Well, if they come over here and they're going through the school, we don't have any ability to discipline those kids if they do something within the school that they're not supposed to. So traditionally, we've had it where it's only been District 95. I'm not saying that we can't change that. I'm going to give you two good examples that don't fit that mold that are city ones. So for example, JFL uses our football field, which is a city, I mean that's a local city thing. And then also City League, or Junior League I should say, Junior League uses it, which would have mixed between the two school districts. But in both of those cases, it would be just Paris. So I don't know how we want to have that conversation, but I figure we could have that at a policy committee meeting along with the memorials. Are there any questions or opinions on that?
Seems to me like if you include Crestwood, that we're getting closer to Crestwood rather than farther away, and it's something we're all trying to work together to try to achieve, but that's just my opinion.
No, I understand it. In fact, I've had quite a few people come up to me and ask me if we would do cooperative sports with golf and cross country with Crestwood. So maybe that would be an open conversation that we can have at some point. So, okay. So, I don't have any other informational items, so I would move to go into executive session. I ask the Board of Education to go into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
So
We have a motion and a second to go to executive session. Please respond. Mathis.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Tuttle.
Yes.
Bailey. Idle.
yes.
Isom.
Yes.
No opposed, yes. One comment, go Tigers.
Yeah.
Make sure you're supporting them all you can, show up for the game. It's been fun to go out and watch.
No, absolutely.
This will be a real game Friday at Red Hill. We won the conference last year at Red Hill.